There's a couple reasons why. One, that's what we're made for. And two, because in that process, you finally become you. You finally have the freedom to be who you are. Many people often go through life saying, God, I wish I could be like this person, I wish I could be like this person, I wish I could be like that person, I wish I could be better, I wish I could be all these things. That's an indication that there's something in us that's not complete yet. We're broken. We're disordered. Every last one of us.
So is it less disordered to say, I want to be like Carson Brown, like that's awesome?
Yeah, in some ways. Yeah, I mean, I want to be me. I don't want to be you. I don't want to be Superman. I might want to be Batman. But I want to be me. Why? Because God created me. He created me to be me. In His image and likeness. There's something about me that reflects God's goodness. That's what I want to be. And I want to be that fully.
Yeah, and with Adam and Eve, though, everything is perfect, right? In some sense. And now we're flawed. Like physically. So, doesn't God strive for us to be perfect?
Yeah.
But we're not perfect.
No.
But then, so striving to be myself is striving to be perfect.
Striving to be perfect in your way. Each of us have different criteria for what is perfect. We don't design the criteria. God designs the criteria. We're each perfect. Each person's scale of perfection is measured by a different unit.
We're called to be called, and we're called to strive to be saints, right?
Yeah.
Each saint has a different way of
There will never be another St. Francis. Thanks be to God. We don't need one. It's causing enough problems. We don't need another Ignatius of Loyola. We don't need another Dominic. We don't need another Aquinas. But we need Blessed John Asher.
Well, people have like a hardest time providing, we are called to say trying to do like some higher power that means that's what we're called to do.
I
It's
think,
hard to explain it to me, I guess.
John, I think part of the problem is that A, we don't realize the dignity that Christ has won for us, first of all. And that's part of what this is. That's part of the whole point of understanding what election is. You know, if we don't know who's been chosen, you go about life as if you have been chosen. We assume good. And if you've been baptized, actually, I think you could say that you know. That's a clear, because what we believe about baptism is that it opens heaven to you. You know, you might fail, but it's a clearer sign. But you're hoping. You're desiring. And that's what hope is. Hope is in the will. You're desiring to possess God as fully as you possibly can. We don't realize that. We don't realize. That's what I'm saying. We don't believe in heaven anymore. Like people, when you say that you're called to be a saint, when people go, "What? I'm called to be a what? I thought I was called to be a garbage man." Well, yeah, but you could be a saint. You could be the patron saint of garbage men. You could be a garbage man so well that it gets you to heaven. Because God has chosen you. He's given you the gift to be holy. And He's transforming you constantly. Constantly transforming you. And that's where the sacraments come. That's the whole point of the sacraments. Like, that's really what the sacraments are all about, right? So each sacrament communicates God's grace. They're encounters with the Lord. They are divine life being force-fed into you. Literally. Force-fed into you. gates of heaven to you. The possibility of salvation, that's what I tell parents. I say, you have two, when I do baptismal prayer, you guys have two roles vis-a-vis your children. Educate your children and to be the first preachers of the gospel to your children. By bringing your child to the church to be baptized, you are now giving your child the greatest gift that you could possibly give them, the possibility of eternal life. What they do with that is their choice. Faith is not a choice. Faith is a gift. You have given your children a possibility of eternal life. Now your job is to help them realize that. See, and that's what's important to say about in this whole process of election, justification, sanctification, glorification, is that free will is not diminished. Free will is not destroyed. It's part of the system. It's part of the plan. Because free will is about love. Because that's all that salvation is. All holiness is. Really, in the end, that's all it is. Loving God. Choosing to love God. Why do I brush my teeth? Because I love God. And that's what we have to make present. So that, the greatest struggle for me, it always comes up during the octave. The octave is very, very hard for me. It's the hardest time of the liturgical year for me because the readings at Mass are very difficult to hear. Particularly Wednesday of the octave, because it's the faith of Peter. This whole week is the faith of Peter. It's crazy, right? And like Sunday, I'm sorry, I despise this whole Divine Mercy Sunday thing. It misses the point of what's going on in many ways. I mean, it's okay. I mean, this Sunday coming up has so many different names in the tradition of the church. Its first name is Dominican Avis Depositis. It's the Sunday of the depositing the albs. So in the early church, the newly baptized wore their albs, because that's the white garment that you receive as the alb. The alb is your priestly garment. The alb is actually the only liturgical garment that Aaron was told that he had to wear as a Levite, and all the Levites when they were carrying out the sacrifice, was what we call the alb today. It was a white linen garment that covered you from your wrists to your ankles and to your neck. And that's what we all receive. We all become Levites through baptism. Priests offer sacrifice. And so we're covered with that baptism. We're given our white garments. So on this Sunday is when those white garments were taken off. You wore them the whole week, wherever you went. And then you took them off and you deposit them into this little case. Everybody that was baptized. And that case was put ensconced for all their existence, because they deteriorated, in the cathedral. They became relics in the cathedral. That's what this Sunday was. It's also called Low Sunday because it's the first Sunday that you don't have to celebrate a solemn high mass. You're done with the Easter. It's no longer Easter. It's no longer the octave. And one of my favorites is Quasimodo Sunday. That's my favorites. But another one is that this is Thomas Sunday because of the gospel. This is where Thomas dies. And it's perfect the way they made the readings for the octave. It's Peter and John believing, and then Thomas doubting. But Wednesday is crazy because that's where Peter tells the cripple, that's at the temple, begging, silver and gold I have not, but what I have I give you. And then he does it, right? I mean, he just lifts him up, and he's healed. And then later on in the Acts of the Apostles, it talks about this, that people flocked to Peter, right? They flocked to him just so that his shadow would pass over. That's what it is to be a Christian. That's what it is to believe. That's what it is to hope.
And if I hadn't yet taken credit for it, like, this is what I'm doing.
Yeah. He's God. I know it. Let me share this with you. And the power of that faith. He did greater works than Christ. And that was a promise that Christ gave, right? He told his apostles, greater works than these you will do. How often do we realize that? That that's what this is about. That's what this is about. It's something that we keep in our head and we think about. Faith isn't something we think about. It's something we do because we've been given. There's nothing that we can do to earn it. So we should stop trying to earn it and do what we've been given to do. So, anyway, that's the essence. That's why I'm saying that these three things, this whole thing, this is the essence of the faith. This is the essence of the faith. God has done it to you. Now do it. In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Good and gracious God, we thank you for your gift of salvation. We thank you for the amazing gift that you have given us. Your very life